Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum. Today is Saturday, September 28th, 2019. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on our solar weather and also the winter storm that is underway right now as we speak in Montana. But first, let's get to some space weather. Now, earlier we were in a G1 geomagnetic storm. Our KAP is at 4 and the 24-hour max is at 5. So we are no longer in storm conditions, but we are still experiencing high solar winds, 632.1 kilometers per second, with a very thin density of 1.5. Our TCI has risen from 4.28 to 4.42, and that has a lot to do with the fact that our atmosphere is being bombarded with highly charged particles at a very high rate. Still no sunspots. That makes 25 days in a row now and 196 days for 2019. So we are almost at that 200 mark, and so I think maybe probably early October we'll be able to hit that, unless that region there that we were watching last night turns into an actual sunspot, which right now we're not seeing that. They're not listing it as a sunspot, so it is at this point just an active region. Ooh, here's a giant arrow. It's like a, all right, let's make that smaller. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. This little bright area. Thought there might have been some action, but as this thing is turning towards Earth, it's kind of dying down a little bit. So nothing more than a bright region, no sunspots, none to think of right now at this second. And I do believe that we'll probably see that 200 mark broken as far as days without sunspots in 2019 by early October, possibly no later than the 5th. So we will keep monitoring this as the days continue. Let's go ahead and take a look at our national forecast as far as weather is right now. Obviously, we have that storm going on right now in Montana, but we're also dealing with severe weather tonight as well. In eastern Kansas into Missouri, there's severe weather right now as we speak in the Kansas City area. Storms racing into Iowa as well. Parts of eastern Ohio are also experiencing some thunderstorms heading into Pennsylvania. And believe it or not, all the way through the capital region in New York, there's a marginal chance of severe thunderstorms. Right now, though, it just looks like some rain showers in the northeast. Parts of the mid-Atlantic also will see rain. And if you're in southern Texas, you're also getting spotty rain showers as well. All right, so let's get into the main topic tonight, which is this winter storm warning. And half of Montana is in a winter storm warning. Parts of Idaho also are in winter storm warnings as well. Let's take a quick look at some of the boxes. The warning really hasn't changed. We're still looking at heavy snow, 15 to 36 inches at lower elevations, and 3 to 5 feet in the mountains. Winds gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. These are the counties where we're expecting this at: Glacier, Toole, Liberty, Pondera, Teton, and northern Lewis and Clark counties. Now, there's obviously more counties than that. I'm just reading off a few here. This is in the far northern part of Montana, and they are looking at, like I said, 15 to 36 inches of snow in the lower elevations, 3 to 5 feet in the mountains. Simply historic is the only word to say about this, guys. 5 feet of snow in the mountains. I don't care, mountains or not. It's September 28th. Impacts. Extreme impacts are possible. Widespread tree damage is possible due to the heavy and wet snow falling onto trees with leaves still attached. Down power lines are also a possibility, resulting in widespread power outages. Pretty much the same details we read you off for the past several days. Right now, this is an actual, it's happening. There are areas like Hill, Chateau, Blaine, Ferguson counties. You're only expecting 12 to 14 inches in the lower elevations as well. We keep looking down this warning list, 15 to 30 inches in the mountains for counties of Judith Basin and Cascade counties. Also, we look here, 10 to 30 inches in the mountains for Meagher, Jefferson, Broadwater, Central County, Southern Lewis, and Clark counties. Another warning. We are looking at 18 inches of snow, and this is lower elevations, the Little Rockies. That's until Monday, 4 p.m. And then we have 10 to 15 inches in Beartooth Mountains. Again, this is through Monday at 6 p.m. So the overall is we're expecting a foot in most places in Montana. Anywhere from a foot to 5 feet of snow is possible in the mountains. Here's some footage right now out of Montana. I mean, this is crazy to see this kind of a scene, guys. Let's go ahead and take that sound off there. Already seeing this kind of snowfall, this kind of weather, this early. I'm not ready for it, honestly. I'll be honest with you. This is a little crazy to see this kind of snow falling. Look at the green leaves on these trees. We haven't even had fall yet. I mean, this is full blown, folks. It's one thing to have leaves on the trees when they're colored, but these trees are green. Just such a bizarre scene. I'm sure no one's really even thinking about that as well. Now, so far, these roads, it's a wet, slushy snow. So it's packable. It's going to be easy to scrape off the roads at this point. But as temperatures fall into the mid-20s and lower than that, that's where we're going to be a little bit worried about some freeze on these roads where they could turn treacherous, especially since we are expecting snowfall to continue for tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night, and maybe even early Monday morning. So still lots to go. We're only halfway through. Here's some snowfall totals through Sunday at Maria Pass with 36 to 48 inches. Rogers Pass coming in at 30 to 36 inches. Cut Bank, where we just showed you, 24 to 30 inches of snow. Great Falls, only a foot, and Helena also near a foot of snow. And I wanted to show you this as well. The largest September snows in Great Falls. All right. Check that out. 6 inches, 1954. 1908, 6.1 inches. 1934, 6 inches. 83, 5.7. 84, 5.5 inches. This is September now. We are going to crush those records. 8 to 12 in Great Falls, which their record before this was 6.1. So we're going to double that, possibly, at least break it by 2 to 3 inches. Missoula, Montana, I mean, these are traces. This isn't even worth mentioning. We are getting some serious accumulating snow today, folks, and tomorrow. And again, these are pictures of snowstorms that you would think this is January into February. Not the case. Already snow falling. This is from earlier today. Again, look at the vegetation. Like I said, it's green. No fall colors out here. We went from warm summer to slightly cooling down for fall to full-blown winter. Some areas have already received, in the lower elevations, 13 inches of snow. So already over a foot. And we have at least over or close to 2 feet right now in the mountains. So pretty impressive snowstorm. We're not even halfway through it, and some areas have gotten almost 2 feet of snow. Let me repeat this. It's September 28th, folks. You've seen the records on how much snowfall in September in some of these towns and cities. It's pretty puny. There's a reason why they're calling this historic, okay? When you're talking about 5 feet of snow in the mountains and 15 to 36 in lower elevations, that's something to be concerned about. Now, doesn't mean we're at the end of the world or anything like that, but we saw this in the southern hemisphere this year. 2 months before the actual winter kicked in, we saw record cold temperatures and we saw snowfall. 2 months before winter actually started. Now, that was back in April and May of this spring here in the northern hemisphere. But in the southern hemisphere, that's fall, and then our summer is their winter. So what I've always learned in this business is that whatever happens in the southern hemisphere usually is kind of an indication of what the northern hemisphere can experience. So they already had an early winter. It's going on middle of spring right now, and we're still talking about snow in some areas in the southern hemisphere where it should be warming up for spring. So impressive snow totals already, guys. Let's take a look at the GFS and see where this takes us through as far as our snowstorm. And I'll be honest with you, the good news about this GFS is that it's not as dark blue as it once was. Now, I don't know if that's misleading or if there's been a change in the forecast, but the National Weather Service is still calling for over almost 3 feet of snow in the lower elevations and up to 5 feet of snow in the mountains. So I don't see any indication of this letting up anytime soon, but this storm will lift off by Tuesday, October 1st, and move out and just leave us with some colder temperatures. Now, it will warm back up into the 40s and 50s, and this snow will melt, and it'll be a big old mess. But more cold air is behind this in the northwest, spilling in from Canada, and we will see cooler temperatures once again by midweek, next week of and first week of October, before another low pressure system comes in from the northwest through BC and Alberta, gets more snow again, but doesn't spill into the United States just quite yet. So, in recap, we are probably going to see this snowstorm last through Monday, early Monday morning. And after that, we're just going to go back to a normal fall pattern with rain and cooler temperatures. But definitely an impressive system right now that we're dealing with. And for the folks of Montana, here's what I have to say. Stay in if you don't have to go anywhere. Let the road crews do their work. Also, let's keep it safe for our sheriff and police officers and firefighters and EMTs. If you're out in this storm and you know you shouldn't be, especially when we have blizzard-like conditions, not only are you putting yourself in harm's way, but you're putting everyone who is working to help in harm's way as well when these conditions are dangerous. So if you don't have to go anywhere tonight, folks, hunker down, stay indoors for the rest of the weekend until the storm passes through. Let the road crews do their work and get things cleared away for you. So that's all I got for you tonight. I just want to do a quick update on the storm and our solar weather. Again, we are now out of a G1 storm system. Earlier today, from late last night through the most of the day today, we were at G1 levels. We have now dropped from a KP5 to a KP4. Now, looking at the SDO in motion, we do have some spots, coronal holes that are in the southern part of our star that may graze our magnetic field, and this probably won't happen until somewhere around October 4th. So we'll keep monitoring that. No sunspots, no nothing right now, and still kind of waiting to see if we get another earthquake. Kind of surprised we haven't heard of any 6.0s or anything like that with the solar weather that we're dealing with. So also, I did want to mention one more thing, and that is in the tropics. Not much going on. Now, Lorenzo did strengthen a little bit, and now their winds are back up down to 130. Actually, it was at 135 earlier. Lorenzo strengthened a little bit. It did go down to 125 on the winds, and during today's solar storm, ironically enough, the winds increased to 135. Pressure is holding steady at 950 millibars, moving north at 10 miles per hour. So not really the effects that we thought we were going to see from this storm, because it really didn't reach the G2 status. So a G1 is a minor geomagnetic storm. Yes, we're getting highly charged particles bombarded in our atmosphere, but it didn't give it quite the fuel that I thought it would if it had been a G2 storm. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Make sure that you check out our Patreon channel tonight. Is our live call-in show from 8 to 9 p.m. Tonight's topic is going to be mainly on prepping and what changes have you noticed in your neck of the woods. That's 8 o'clock tonight to 9 o'clock. If you're a Patreon member, you already have the phone number to call in. And if you want to become a patron, it's easy, guys. $1 gets you access to the call-in show. $1 a month. There are other levels that you can donate as well, but it only takes $1, folks, to join up at our Patreon channel. That's going to do it for us. We hope everyone has a great evening and hope you can join us for the call-in show. Until Monday morning, we will talk soon.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.